building you up to first kick.
1, 2, 3.
And here we go. Ball in front, score! Another well-worked goal for Columbus Crew 2. Mostrock still coming! Oh my! Knight on the turn, Knight scores! He's crossed to the near post, and there's his second. Gavrin! Oh, it's in! Oh, again! Loaded for Columbus! It's Columbus Crew 2 hosting St. Louis CITY2 for the MLS NEXT Pro Cup.
And we are live straight from Columbus, Ohio. Look at the beautiful lower.com field. Here we are for the inaugural MLS NEXT Pro Cup between Crew 2 and CITY2. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is our MLS NEXT Pro Cup preview show. Joining me today is Ramon Chavez, our MLS NEXT Pro contributor. Ramon, how excited are you to be here today?
Oh, I'm super excited to be here, Samara. Thrilled to be in Columbus, Ohio to witness the first ever MLS NEXT Pro Cup final. I can't wait to see it tomorrow.
Ricky, our MLS NEXT Pro analyst throughout the whole season. How excited are you for tomorrow's match?
Well, this is what you want, right? The best from the East, the best from the West, playing all in one game. Obviously a massive opportunity, beautiful stadium. What else can you ask for?
And I'm Samara Perez. Guys, it's been an amazing season. Let's take a look at what's on the line, the silverware that took a tour around Columbus earlier today. Ramon, walk us through where the trophy went.
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful trophy that they're going to be winning tomorrow. But yeah, it took a stroll down here in Columbus, Ohio, down to the shoe over there where the Buckeyes play, and also Union Station Arch in the stadium district, the arena district, I should say, and then it made its way down to lower.com field here and took a beautiful picture. Ricky, what are your thoughts on the trophy, man?
Oh, it's going to be very interesting. But the question is it going to stay here or is it going to go back to St. Louis? That's the question to be asked.
It looks lovely, very shiny. All right, guys, let's take a look back at what brought us here to this moment. Now, there were over 250 regular games played in the season. Now, let's take a look at the playoffs. What brought us here? What brought CITY2 and Crew 2 to the inaugural MLS NEXT Pro Cup? Now, we had the top 4 seeded teams from each conference play a single elimination match in the West. CITY2, North Texas SC, Tacoma Defiance, and Houston Dynamo 2. And in the East, Crew 2, Rochester, New York, Toronto FC 2, and Union 2. And in the end, it was the top seeded teams that made their way to the final. All right, Ricky, you've been covering the games all season long. What has this been like for you?
Well, it's been terrific. Obviously, to kickstart a season from nothing, who knew what to expect? But the forward thinking, the progressive thinking of MLS, from MLS NEXT Pro, the kicks from the spot, the new rules, and obviously create a pathway for players to get signed to the MLS is the goal. And MLS NEXT Pro has done just that. It's been a terrific situation, a terrific season so far.
Ramon, you've been covering the games as well with us. What has impressed you the most?
So there's two things that has impressed me, Samara. The quality that you see on the field from the first minute the MLS NEXT Pro came. You could see the quality with the players, the coaching staff, the facilities. Everything was fantastic, and also the passion. You saw the fans get into it. The players on the field, none of them want to lose. Everybody wants to win, and we're going to see that tomorrow as well. And also, shout out to the fans that they make this game exciting. Hopefully, they're going to turn out tomorrow so we can have a great game.
Guys, it has been an exciting roller coaster, dramatic, all the emotions leading up to tomorrow's game. Now, let's take a look back and go take a stroll down memory lane and take a look back at the biggest moments, our favorite moments. Now, we have my lovely co-host, Michelle, who couldn't be with us here today, but she's going to share with us her favorite moment in this season.
Hey guys, hope you're holding it down there in Columbus. I am devastated that I can't be there with you, but I'm certainly there in spirit, just like you have. I took a minute to look back on some of my favorite memories from the year. My first one is actually from that very first game, the inaugural MLS Next Pro game between St. Louis CITY2 and Rochester, New York FC. Some of the most passionate fan bases in the country in the opening game. Players got to play in front of a crowd of 6,000 plus people. And for St. Louis CITY2, I mean, what a full circle story for them. Getting to play in the first ever game this season and now getting to play in the very last. And I know for them, they're certainly hoping for the same result. Second favorite memory is actually from some of the goalkeeping play we've seen in recent weeks, especially during this playoff push in the latter half of this season. First one I have to call out, Kaique, double save. Rochester, New York FC versus their in-state rival New York City FC2. In the decision day match, Kaique doing some acrobatics out there to keep his team level. Then we got a little deja vu. Michael Creek with the same type of activity. He had his own double save in the St. Louis CITY2 game against Tacoma Defiance to keep his team ahead and ultimately help them advance. So I know goalkeepers don't always get a lot of love, but had to show them just a little. And for my last favorite memory, or really collection of memories, we take a step off the pitch. Getting to know some of these coaches, not only as soccer coaches, but also as human beings, has been an absolute joy. A couple memories that stand out to me. One, getting to talk with Wade Weber, hearing his perspective of how being a 10-year history teacher helps develop his players, not just on the pitch, but certainly off of it as well. John Hackworth, the guy who'll be on the sidelines tomorrow night, head coach of St. Louis CITY2, gravel bike racer. How cool is that? Benny Fallhaber, an MLS legend, got to hear from the man himself what it means to have undisputedly one of the best goals in U.S. men's national team history. And finally, that Father's Day special, getting to talk with both Tyrone and Morgan Marshall. It's not every day you get a head coach coaching his son in a professional setting. Getting to see their relationship and what it means to them is just something I'll probably never forget. So a lot of fun memories to choose from. I know the fun is just getting started over there in Columbus. Hope you guys have so much fun at the first ever MLS Next Pro Cup, and I will see you all very soon.
Thank you so much for sharing your favorite moments with us, Michelle. The whole team misses you out here in Columbus. Now, Ramon, walk us through your favorite moment.
So my favorite moment is the MLS Next Pro goal of the year. The midfielder from New England Revolution 2, Ryan Lima, had scored an absolute banger early in the season, 40-yard. I don't believe he even took a look at the goal before he shot that, but it was a wonderful goal, and I love those long-range shots, and so it just set the tempo and the tone for the rest of the season, the quality, like I said earlier, that we were going to see in MLS Next Pro.
Ricky, what was yours?
No, it has to be decision day. Obviously, as a league, you want to be competitive. To have it go down to the last day, who's going to play who's going to go where, who's going to host who, I thought it was terrific. Obviously, we have St. Louis that came in, that hosted the Western Conference Final. Crew hosted the Eastern Conference. That was my favorite moment of the season.
Well, guys, we also had Ricky's partner, the MLS Next Pro play-by-play announcer Josh Eastern share his favorite moment with us.
Thanks, Samara. Well, there's been a lot of great moments, of course, as Ricky and Michelle have talked about, but my favorite moment of this inaugural season has to be last week's Eastern Conference Final. What an electric day that was at historic Crew Stadium. The twists and turns. Columbus goes up, Toronto comes back, and then Columbus wins it in the most dramatic fashion. It's going to be a great game tomorrow, and I know that was my favorite moment of the year.
All right, now for me, my special moment was in the MLS Next Pro's first ever goal, which took place in Houston, a stunning free kick by Marcelo Palomino. It was truly special to live that. Now, speaking of special moments, guys, the MLS Next Pro Golden Boot Award winner, Jason Russell Rowe, was honored today, received the award, recognized with the Most Valuable Player Award. Now, Jason Russell Rowe, as we mentioned, had 21 goals in the regular season, Golden Boot champ, best 11 selection as well. Now, we caught up with him earlier today, and he shared with us, how excited he was to be receiving this award and to share it not only with his teammates but also with his loved ones. We had his mom come visit along with his girlfriend, and there we see him receiving the MVP award by Charles Alchtek. A truly amazing moment. Let's hear what Jason had to say.
I mean, it's a great accomplishment for me, and I think it's for my team as well, because I wouldn't be able to score all those goals and to play the way I played without them behind me.
Jason, we saw that you have special guests in the building. Talk to us a little bit about who they are and how special that is for you.
I mean, I have my mom and my girlfriend here, and it means the world to have like my family here to support me, because they've always been supporting me from the background. And now when I finally won something individual, a very big award in my opinion, it means a lot that they get to share this moment with me.
Jason, you received the Golden Boot Award, Best 11 honoree selection. Now you're heading into the MLS Next Pro final. How are you feeling? What's going through your mind right now as you prepare for this final game?
I mean, I'm confident, we're confident. The work's been put in throughout the whole season, and now we just have to go out there tomorrow and establish ourselves as the first MLS Next Pro winners.
Jason, did you imagine that you were going to accomplish this much at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think I had a confidence. I knew that we were a good team, and I'm a good player, and everybody here is just great players, so we had the ability to accomplish it. We just had to really chase our dreams and goals as a team.
That's great to hear. Well, Jason, congratulations. A message that you have for the Crew 2 supporters.
I mean, hope you guys come in numbers. We're going to really need your support out there tomorrow, and let's go Cappies.
All right, Jason Russell Rowe, as we mentioned earlier, was the Golden Boot Award winner with 21 goals. Up next, Bernard Kamungo, Ramon.
Yeah, one of my favorite players this season, Bernard Kamungo. His story is basically a Hollywood script. He's a refugee from Tanzania, was able to get onto the North Texas SC team via an open tryout, and now he's signed a first-team contract with Dallas. It's an amazing story. I love to see his play, and you can see the quality and the talent that he has by scoring 16 goals this season.
We saw some amazing stories, got to speak with some players who shared their stories with us. Ricky, what impressed you the most about Jason Russell Rowe?
Well, obviously you see the goals, you see the talent, you see what he means to Columbus Crew. But what really impresses me about Jason Russell Rowe is how smart he is. He understands when to drop in and be part of the build-up, but ultimately he's getting paid to score goals. He understands I need to stay high, I need to be in and around that 18-yard box, I need to be dangerous, and I need to occupy the opposition and that back line. He's a massive part of why the Columbus Crew 2 is hosting the MLS Next Cup final.
Ramon, how important do you think Jason will be in tomorrow's final?
Yeah, he's key. He's going to be a key player. He has to, I'm sure after not scoring last week, it's going to be in the back of his mind, getting on board, getting that tone set up early in the game, and making sure that he contributes to his team. So yeah, amazing performance, like you said it before, Golden Boot winner, part of the best 11, now the MLS Next Pro MVP. Wonderful season by Jason Russell Rowe.
All right, guys, now let's take a look at the road that led Crew 2 here. Look at the games that they played in the first match. They had a pretty dominant.
Get to the end line, he cuts this
okay,
back.
we're gonna go
Here
to
comes the
City 2
shot,
first,
and
actually,
the
guys.
finish
All right, Ricky,
St.
you
Louis
were there in all
CITY2
the
grabbed the
MLS Next Pro playoff matches. Talk to us about that first City 2
run.
game.
Well, it was very interesting. Obviously, North Texas, a team that has such a high-powered attacking unit, like to get you in transition, their front three. So John Hackworth was like, look, I'm going to be tactical. I'm going to be more defensively. You see, they really blanked. North Texas didn't have any answers. And you saw, obviously, Celio Pompeo was massive in that game, having the goal, having the assist. But he was massive. And obviously, the St. Louis City side is just so mature. They know how to read players. They know how to dictate tempo. They know how to read games. And it's a well-deserved win in this game particularly.
All right, now let's move on to their game against Tacoma Defiance. A 2-1 win. Ostrack scoring. Walk us through that game.
And again, it was just very different from North Texas. You have a Tacoma Defiance team that is Wade Weber, very well coached, very fluid in the way that they play. But again, they were more on the attacking phase. They said, look, we have more experience. We ultimately have more talent, individual talent, and we're going to take the game to Tacoma Defiance. You saw this goal from Malstruck, unbelievable, the way he just had a pure individual brilliant effort. And then this is one of my favorite goals in this whole year. Obviously, you have Dolan coming back in, Schneider putting the ball across. He's getting to that near post. You could just see they're together, they're confident, and they have a bit of that arrogance that it takes to win a trophy.
Ricky, player to watch from City 2?
I think it has to be Thomas Alstruck. Obviously, how good he is. There's a player that no one else on the field tomorrow is going to have that in his locker. The talent that he has, the ability to beat you 1v1 combination play. We've seen him play on the wide sides. We saw him play centrally. Obviously, against Tacoma Defiance, we saw him play more centrally, and he just unlocked the game. The ability to beat players, ability to finish off plays, and he's a massive player for St. Louis City 2, and he needs to be very good tomorrow to give them a chance to host the trophy.
All right, guys, now let's move on to Crew 2. Crew 2 had 2 huge games. But first, Ricky, your player to watch for City 2. No, Crew 2, I'm sorry.
That's going to be Marco Micheletto. Obviously, Russell Rowe gets all the attention, rightly so, Golden Boot, MVP. But you have to look at Marco Micheletto. Jason Russell Rowe is going to stay high. He's going to occupy
another brilliant save for Kai.
Underneath for Marco Micheletto. You can see this goal here as he drops in. Look how he continues his run. He understands as he's going to open up, Russell Rowe's going to get a lot of attention, and how clinical he is. There's a reason why he scores so many goals. He gives so many assists. He can beat you 1v1. He can beat you combination play, much like Alstruck. And the way that Laurent Courtois likes to play with the wing backs high and wide, it's going to put a lot of pressure on St. Louis City's outside backs. So they stay centrally, they go out wide. And Marco Micheletto is going to have a big day tomorrow for Columbus Crew 2.
Ricky, Crew 2 has played most of their games at the historic Crew 2 Stadium. Now they'll be at Lower.com Field. Do you think that'll have any impact?
It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, you see this beautiful stadium, but every player in MLS Next Pro, they want to play in a stadium like this week in and week out. This is the dream, a pathway to pro. So I think it's going to have a bit of a motivation factor for both of these organizations. And who's going to come out in the first 15 minutes and really say, okay, I want to play here. I need to show out when the pressure's on. I think it's going to just level up the game.
All right. Now, Ricky, you've been in this situation before, former MLS player. What do you think is going through the minds of the Crew 2 players being the hosts?
Well, it's very interesting. We talk with all the coaches, we talk with all the players as well, saying, look, we had a target on our back. We knew it. We wanted it. We've been the best team in the East by a landslide. No one really touched us besides Toronto FC in the Eastern Conference Final. But this is what we wanted. We wanted to be the team to beat. We wanted to host a trophy. And obviously playing in Lower.com Field, their home fans, it's going to be very interesting. But you can't let that distract you. At the end of the game, at the end of the day, this is a game of football. You're getting paid to do this. You've done it all year. From minute 1 to minute 90, you have to enjoy yourself.
Now, Ricky, on the opposite side of that is the visiting team, City 2, who actually have the best record away. What is going through their minds, do you think?
You know, you have to lean on your coach. You have to lean on your experience. You can look at John Hackworth, the career that he's had in coaching, the experience that he's had to play in these World Cup qualifiers, the knockout games, and the youth national teams. Lean on that experience. Say, hey, what do I need to do? How do I approach a game like this at this magnitude? And you look at your captain, Josh Yarrow, the experience that he's had in MLS, he had in college, going to USL. He's done it all. He is a leader by trait. Lean on him. But at the end of the day, again, it's a game of football. Enjoy yourself, and it's an awesome opportunity to write yourself in history.
True. Ramon, unfortunately, we're at the end of the show. Give us your final thoughts for the biggest game of the year tomorrow.
Yeah, like Ricky said, it's all about history. This is a chance for these players to etch their names in history, be the first winners of the MLS Next Pro Cup, and they have to show it out on the field tomorrow. You know, a lot of big names on the field, a lot of passion, a lot of fans are going to be traveling from St. Louis over here to support their team, and also the capybaras. They're going to come here and support their team as well. So it's going to be a wonderful sight tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not as cold as tonight, but yeah, it's going to be an amazing game.
Ricky, your final thoughts.
Again, it's not very often that you're able to be the first of anything, especially in professional sports. And what an awesome opportunity for St. Louis City 2, for Crew 2, to write themselves in history and be the first MLS Next Pro Cup final winners.
Well, guys, this is the preview. Thank you so much for joining us. And a reminder that tomorrow you have a date here at Lower.com Field if you're in Columbus. But if you're not in Columbus, join us on the live stream on MLS Next Pro MLS.com. Remember, the biggest game of the year. For Ramon, Ricky, and I, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow in the MLS Next Pro Cup.